Hello everybody, if you're watching this, we assume that you're part of the UW-Whitewater VITA clinic, so welcome. This video is designed to hopefully help you recognize the key issues when dealing with student returns at the clinic. The biggest issue is whether or not they're being claimed by their parent or claiming themselves. If their parents are claiming them, it will have a huge impact on how you actually complete the return. And throughout this video, Colin Schmidt and myself, Ryan Wilson, will discuss those specific issues that we have seen throughout the clinic, such as the homestead credit, tuition payments, as well as certain education credits.
Hey everyone, as Ryan said, we're going to be going over a couple different items with you guys today. First, we're going to start off with the homestead credit. So in order to claim the homestead credit, first there's a few qualifying factors that you need to meet. The main one is that you are not claimed on anyone else's federal tax return. This is a common issue for college students who will not pass this requirement because a lot of them are indeed still claimed on their parents' tax return. Another major qualifying factor is that you have to have household income less than around $25,000. So obviously those amounts will change year by year, but they usually are around $25,000. And then the last one is that you have to be either the owner or the renter of a Wisconsin homestead. What exactly does this mean? Well, for students, they'll usually be renting either an apartment or a room out of a house. So once you know that the student will qualify for the homestead credit, what's the next step? Well, in order to claim it, you need both the rent certificate filled out, that's behind me. This is the Wisconsin rent certificate form for 2016, so obviously you would need the updated one for 2017. And this actually gets directly inputted into the Drake software, and then it also ends up getting scanned in. If you just want to kind of scroll through the form, it looks pretty basic. But even though it's pretty basic, there still ends up being a lot of confusion with it. And we're going to go ahead and look at an example. You'll find that a lot of students end up renting through DLK Enterprises in Whitewater, and they actually did something really nice on their website. If you go onto their website and click on facts, there's actually a link on how to go about filling out one of these. And so you can just kind of see they have a full example here, so you put in your last name and the address. And then everyone, this is going to be the same for everyone. You're going to type in, or to either type or write in DLK Enterprises, their phone number and office, all that's provided right here. And then these check boxes are going to be similar for everyone. Nothing will change here as long as they're renting through DLK. And then what causes a lot of confusion with people who pay through DLK is this area right here. The reason being is that usually you would put the amount of rent that you pay each month. But with DLK, for many of their rentals, you end up paying by semester. All you have to do is put the amount that you paid for the semester in the month that you paid it, and then it'll just be zeros for all the other months. The nice thing is you do not have to worry about signing the bottom. The reason being is that the state of Wisconsin actually does not require that your landlord signs.
Alright, well I'm back again. The next topic we're going to be discussing is education credits. Behind me is a form located on the Drake software. The best way to access this form is honestly just to search in the search bar tuition, and this is the only option that actually shows up. So there's three main education credits that we're going to be going over today. The first one is the American Opportunity Credit, the Lifetime Learning Credit, as well as the tuition and fees deduction. So in order to claim any of the mentioned credits, there's actually a few requirements that have to be met. The first is that the client is enrolled at an institution, it's qualified expenses, and that the tax return belongs to the actual student. So just a little background on the three mentioned credits. The AOTC deals with expenses for schools such as supplies, tuition, and different equipment that you may need throughout your education. The LLC deals with enhancing your job skills, so if you take a course online or something, that would go for that. Then tuition and fees deduction is similar to the AOTC in that it's just tuition and different supplies that you may need for school. You should note that you cannot claim more than one, so if you're eligible for the AOTC and the LLC, you would actually have to choose which one, so this is where you would click on that. Throughout the clinic, you'll see that some of the students will say, oh, they paid this for room and board. However, that is not a qualified expense for this, so just make sure that you don't put that in there. Once you've completed the tuition and fee deduction form, what you're going to have to end up going to is a due diligence checklist, which is pulled up behind me. And basically all this is it'll ask you a question and you have to say yes or no if it applies to your situation. And that's one way to prevent an error coming up after you're done filling out your tax return. To conclude our video, just make sure that you keep in mind whether or not the parent is claiming the student or they're claiming themselves. As we've kind of mentioned before, if this parent is claiming the student, a lot of these things do not really apply to the tax return since the student won't be receiving the benefit, the parent would. The homestead credit, the tuition and fee deduction, as well as education credits, it all kind of boils down to whether or not the parent is claiming the student. To finish it up, Colin's going to go over some of the different areas where you can find more information.
Yeah, so before we head off, we just wanted to show you guys a couple different links of where you can go to get more information. So up on the top here, this is good just to have rent certificates available for people who need to fill them out at the clinic. And obviously you'll just switch it with the current year that you're working on. So if you're doing it 2017, just put in 17 and that'll get you to the right spot. And then if you want to refer to the rent certificate that DLK filled out, that's where you can find that. And if you want further information on the Wisconsin Homestead Credit, this will have all the qualifications. I was limited to only sharing the main common ones that will show up for you guys. But this will give you a lot more in-depth knowledge that will be good to know if you run into any issues. So thank you, and we hope this helps.